April 16th, 1943. Albert Huffman, a drug researcher for Sandoz Labs in Switzerland, was experimenting with ergot enzymes. He'd been testing different variations in hopes that he might increase blood circulation. On his way home, he realized that some of that substance had gotten into his system. He described strange shapes, colors, distortions, and a feeling of heaviness followed by incoherent moments of laughter and dread. This particular batch of lysergic acid diethylamines had been the 25th batch in the series of tests, so he named it LSD-25. And Albert, well, he became the first person to ever take a little trip. Let's take a little trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
It's alive!
I like you.
They're coming to get you.
Out of grace.
This is
Me?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Welcome back yet again to another edition of Well, Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants, a podcast about weird shit, wild shit, people that kill people, and we just talk shit in general. So, joining me, as always,
talk that shit.
there's the Todd and Spar.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
It's a going, buddy. And Lindy joins us. We missed you last week. How you doing? Feeling better?
Speak for yourself. I didn't miss her.
Not dead yet.
Not dead yet. Although last week I was kind of wishing that I was. So.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, definitely better this week.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Carter.
Look at him go. Just look at him go. So here we go. We're going to dive right back into MK Ultra, part 2, as the French say in outrageous accents.
Hot shots.
And anyone want to go over anything from last week? You just want to jump right in?
You better start talking, bro, because you got to get through this.
Yeah, man.
And I'm hoping we actually get from Bluebird, where we left off last week, to the part where it becomes MK Ultra. But it's important to let you know how all these things happened. And it was just kind of like one thing led to another, and it's all based on fear of an enemy.
It's all fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I've been drinking the tap water, so I don't even remember what we did last week, man.
Well, man, let me tell
It's
you.
the fluoride, man.
Put in that water, man. It's not good for you. Man.
Definitely pretty happy that I don't frequent bars.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah. I've had looking out my back door on repeat.
All right, so
Is that why they call it a brown eye?
What are we doing?
we'll talk about
Looking out your back door.
Hey,
no,
Brown
we'll talk,
eye.
we'll talk about your chocolate starfish later. Okay?
yeah, I'm sure the devil's raisin will come up in another story, but we can let that go for now.
I'm more of a fan of the hot dog flavored water.
There you go.
Jesus Christ, folks, we're not 5 minutes into this and you're talking shit. Yeah?
I told you to get going.
I'm trying.
No, you're not. You're not trying hard enough.
Shut the fuck up and let me talk for a minute.
Listen, Bo.
Hey, Liz. I'm going to go get Uncle Jesse. He's going to kick your ass.
Yeah, whatever. I got Daisy over there. She'll walk around in short shorts and do something.
Yeah.
Stop traffic in a bikini.
You would be the one that would do weird shit with your cousin.
She'll be working on her white Jeep.
Hey, I actually have a white Jeep.
do you normally walk out to the road in Daisy Dukes to stand on the front bumper and bend over and work on it?
No.
No, it's not the same thing. Okay.
All right, I love you people, but shut the fuck up. We okay. All right, so something that I did not cover last week that it needs to be addressed before I can continue. Okay.
What What does this have to do with gay porn?
Look, that was an old episode, buddy.
Everything. This has everything to do with gay porn.
Actually, it does. So in 1949, L. Wilson Green, he's the technical director of chemical and radiological labs at Edgewood Arsenal at the time. He learned of this drug, LSD, that Albert Huffman had discovered, and he gave a detailed report that he called the psychochemical warfare, a new concept of war. And this report concluded that the U.S. should begin experimentation with LSD and as many hallucinogens that they can find as soon as possible to, quote, usher in a new era of humane warfare, end quote.
This guy was a fucking creep.
Well, they're all fucking nuts. They're all fucking nuttier fucking.
I actually watched a documentary on Edgewood.
Technically, peanut butter peanuts are not a nut. They're a bean.
Here's the deal.
So.
We're going to get into those experiments in the next episode. We've spent an hour and 15 minutes so far, and we're not even to MK Ultra yet.
No.
Once again, challenge accepted.
Yeah. Okay, so, what was that? Ushering a new era of humane warfare, one without death or destruction of property. So when the director of the CIA at the time, Roscoe Hillencutter, read this report, he asked President Truman to authorize...
I knew he was going to do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it too.
Somebody had to do it.
I have music going to try and distract me, and I can't step over that.
So anyway... Roscoe asked President Truman to authorize the drugs research at the CIA, and Truman said, okay, fuck it, let's do it. So Hillencutter assigned several CIA officers to work with special operations chemists at Camp Diedrich under the agreement of the program that began back in 1950. Do you remember what that one was called?
It ended up being called Stargate, but initially, no.
Bluebird. Hey,
Bluebird,
spill the beans there, Air Force boy. So chemists at Camp Diedrich began to make psychoactive drugs for the CIA to use during interrogations. That was also part of the MK Naomi project, the predecessor to Operation Bluebird. And by the way, MK Naomi was named after his Wilson Green. It's named after his secretary. Her name was Naomi. Yeah.
That was my question.
Probably.
Answered, seems like.
And I'm sorry I didn't get to in the last episode, but there's no way we're going to be able to go over everything in detail unless we just start a whole fucking other podcast that's entirely based on MK Ultra and its 149 sub-projects that we know of. 149. We're not even to fucking MK Ultra yet, people.
Yeah, I don't have the no. I can't do it. No.
Yeah. I don't want to go down that fucking rabbit hole that far, and I've gone down far enough, probably too far. Okay, so when we last left in the last episode, the CIA had launched Operation Bluebird. They'd opened up several black sites throughout Europe to conduct their quote-unquote research through unconventional interrogation techniques that needed to, quote, broaden or to create broad and comprehensive need to determine if it was possible to obtain control of an individual by application of special interrogation techniques.
Oh, I love the way they word things. It makes it so simple to understand.
Yeah, most of that was redacted.
That was blacked out.
Yeah. So one of these black sites was located just north of Frankfurt, Germany, at a former Nazi transit camp. When the U.S. Army took it over after World War II, it had been renamed Camp King. And this is where Nazis and other POWs had been sent for, quote, special interrogation, quote, by the Rough Boys. Now, the Rough Boys were counterintelligence officers that developed a reputation for abusing prisoners by sticking them in freezing water, making them run through gauntlets as they were beaten with ball bats and various other...
Goddamn bear Jew!
Mm-hmm. Sounds awesome.
Then injecting them with various stimulants and depressants just to see, well, what the fuck's this going to do? Maybe
I'm going to scalp me a Nazi.
Yeah.
Some of the substances mentioned in this book that most of our information is based on listed depressants, mescaline, and cocktails containing various versions of many drugs at one time.
They wasted mescaline on these pieces of shit?
They used it, yeah. They wanted to fuck them up. They didn't give a fuck.
Piss in a vial and shove it out.
No shit, right?
See what happens. Well, I don't know. You did worse shit than that.
These rough boys supplied all the muscle Alan Dulles needed to conduct his Bluebird research. And they had plenty of subjects to conduct these experiments on. And most importantly, and this is stated various times, disposal of these expendables would not be an issue. So in other words, it's like, let's just fucking torture him to death, and then fucking we'll burn the bodies or whatever we got to do. We don't fucking care.
Eye for an eye kind of thing.
Didn't somebody else already do that?
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I learned it by watching you.
The CIA is basically taking after Nazis, and they continue to do so even more so as they go along.
weren't most of the doctors or the people performing the experiments here, weren't they Jewish doctors?
Not all of them. I think there were definitely a 40%, I believe, from here. Yeah. And we're going to get to a guy that is one generation removed from Germany, Jew. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this is the guy that's going to end up masterminding MK Ultra for 20 fucking years and work alongside fucking Nazis.
So I'm going to go right for the gut punch on this one and say, considering that Sidney was as horrible of a person as he was as
he's a complex person,
fellow of Hebrew descent.
He's got many layers.
And we're going to get to that probably 50-minute mark, by the way.
So maybe the Germans were onto something, knowing how horrible those people could be.
I learned it by watching you. I think that's more about
Okay. Do you know what Santa Claus and Hitler have in common?
They both...
Something about chimneys?
No, they both don't like Jews because they don't celebrate Christmas.
There you go. Ba-dum-bum.
Okay.
And you're welcome. Back to it. Zach, you're on.
All right. Let's see. While Alan Dulles found all of this appealing, that they were willing to rough these fuckers up and basically experiment on them until they died and then get rid of the bodies, he decided he needed to try and find a more secretive location to conduct these top secret experiments. A CIA safe house. Under the protection of the U.S. Army, but, kind of in secret away from them so they wouldn't know exactly what the fuck they were doing with Bluebird. So, several miles away from Camp King in Kronenberg, Germany, the CIA turned this former huge mansion called Villa Schuster into their main base of operations in Germany. Now, this was a huge fucking estate. It's like, I think it had 12 bedrooms on the 2 upper floors and this grand living room, tall ceilings, salon, fucking fireplace. I mean, you think mansion on the main floor, and then it had a full basement. I mean, and in the basement, there were bricked in sections already that could easily be converted into cells. So I looked at pictures of this place, and it kind of reminds me of like the house on Haunted Hill. I mean, that's what it fucking kind of looks like. So,
cool.
I mean, just something out of a fucking horror movie. Just imagine it. Or like
the original or the remake?
the original. Or like Resident Evil, the very first game. Have you ever played that?
Oh, yeah.
Like that house. It's like that. I mean, it's just like big and fucking scary and ominous. Now, most of the prisoners that began to arrive at Camp King at that time were captured Soviet agents and refugees from East Germany that had been deemed unreliable or expendable. And when those prisoners that were seen to be especially expendable or possibly have secrets, they were sent to Villa Schuster. It became the place that the most extreme forms of torture and interrogation that the U.S. had ever done happened. Scary shit.
Moving along.
Moving along. Now, the chief staff physician that all these officers of Camp King and Villa Schuster consulted was a German doctor by the name of Doc Fisher. But Doc Fisher was actually a recipient of the paperclip program, and he'd been known by another name before paperclip.
Oh, boy.
His name was General Walter Schreiber, who we mentioned last week. Surgeon General of the Third Reich, mastermind of experiments, and the developer of several concentration and death camps. So you want to learn how to fucking torture people and try to fucking get them to talk? I guess you go to the guys that fucking do it best, right?
Right to the source. Yeah.
Paid for, ladies and gentlemen, by your U.S. government and your tax dollars, by the way.
Absolutely.
America, fuck yeah.
I will never die.
I can't get over it. It's so good.
You better not shit on somebody's chest. I'm going to be pissed.
They broke out
Now,
all the
Schreiber
stops.
/
Oh, boy.
Nope.
Get in your pants.
Nope.
Part of Schreiber's job at Camp King and Villa Schuster was to assist and advise interrogators in unique forms of torture and interrogation. So he would sit and discuss his unique knowledge and experiments with CIA members, but his colleagues sitting by the fire, sipping brandy after a fine meal at Villa Schuster. While in the basement below, prisoners were being tortured to death.
A sling blade.
Oh, have you tried to use the injecting with the rat poison yet? Oh, that works so well. Oh, would you like another piece of chicken or some more fava beans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pass the wine.
A nice Chianti.
Chianti. Very nice.
Pass the wine. I've had a stressful day.
Yeah, just sitting there fucking talking shop about all these psychoactive drugs and then devising next steps in their experimental torture techniques. Maybe we should stick a hamster up her ass. Maybe it will work.
Mm-hmm.
Just whatever works.
Operation Gear.
Operation Hamster is in effect now. Oh my God. So teams from Operation Bluebird flew to Germany regularly to conduct these experiments without any fucking supervision and without any regard for U.S. law. They were fucking
pretty willy-nilly.
They could do whatever the fuck they wanted and did not have to fucking answer to anybody because the people that they were dealing with were expendables. So if they
so it didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't fucking matter.
We want them gone anyway. It's no big deal.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, big fucking deal. It's just we got rid of some more fucking people we didn't like anyway. So the CIA higher-ups ordered Bluebird teams to keep their true experiments a secret from the military groups that they were working with. A secret. They were ordered to say that they were conducting extensive polygraph work only, so that they knew nothing of all these tortures and all this other shit that was going on. And as they got involved deeper into the experiments, the CIA got an itch to bring on Kurt Blome to Project Bluebird. He was a big catch because of his extensive knowledge from the experiments he had conducted for the Nazis. And we mentioned him in episode 1. They tried to arrange a deal with him and for him in exchange for a paperclip contract. He agreed. And in the midst of his contract going through, Walter Schreiber was entering into the U.S. When news when the news agencies found out about it, this fucking shitstorm erupted, and the government canceled Schreiber's paperclip contract. And instead of returning to Germany, he just decided he was going to go to fucking Argentina, New Germany, to retire.
They were welcomed with open arms as well.
Yeah, we've mentioned Argentina a couple of times. I think it was the Antarctica episode that we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans were very sick down there. More people speaking German than any Latin languages.
Oh.
So, because of all this shitstorm that was happening with Schreiber, the U.S. decided that entry into the U.S. would be denied for Blum. So the CIA was pissed, and so they kind of offered him another option, since obviously this vacancy had taken place at Camp King. So Kurt Blum took over Schreiber's previous position as chief staff position and resumed his work similar to that he had done for the Nazis, testing drugs, chemicals, and various torture techniques and experimental interrogations. After Bluebird agents had thoroughly consulted with Blum, Schreiber, and members of the Japanese Unit 731, which we discussed last week, they came up with these new questions that they thought would be very, very valuable to the CIA if they could answer these questions. And most of this is Dulles, because he's kind of in charge of this project, Alan Dulles.
Okay.
Like I said before, he's the one that kind of helped write the charter for the CIA. He was in the OSS. So I'm not going back into it. Just listen to episode 1 if you haven't done it.
A little recap.
Yeah. So amongst these questions were, can we obtain accurate intel from willing and unwilling individuals? Can we prevent someone from giving secret intel by any means? Can we give someone amnesia under any circumstances? Can we change someone's personality? Can we use hypnosis to make unwilling persons into willing agents? And how can we put drugs into common items such as cigarettes, food, beverages, toothpaste, etc.? And can we extract intel from unwilling persons? Can we do this in real-world conditions and in a very short period of time? So the 4 big higher-ups in Bluebird, Alan Dulles, James Jesus Angleton, Frank Wisner, and Richard Helms. Now, a couple of those guys would end up being heads of the CIA later.
Mm-hmm. So that's 4 horsemen.
Yeah, these guys are all the CIA higher-ups that are at the helm of Operation Bluebird. And they all realized they didn't have the background to answer these questions. And in order to try to get the answers they needed to have someone outside the CIA with the right scientific background willing to pursue the darker side of science. And
I know a guy.
Try to learn how to control the human mind. In 1951, Helms and Dulles settled on a man named Sidney Gottlieb. Now, Sidney Gottlieb, here's your Hungarian Jew. So Gottlieb was a Jewish immigrant. His parents had relocated to the Bronx in 1918, I believe. Now, Sidney he was a stutterer. Stutterer.
Uh-oh. We'll do that again.
Billy, I'm going to steal your bike. And he also had a club foot. He was born with a club foot. And I think it took several operations to get to the point where he could actually walk. I think he was 12 years old before he could walk without a cane.
Okay.
To pay for these operations, I think his dad owned sweatshops. And he would use the money that he got from the sweatshops to pay for these operations.
Okay.
That sounds.
I thought you were going to say that
right.
Colleges were lining up to draft him to be a punter.
Well, he was so pissed at his dad that he actually I think he was in like some sort of socialist club in college because he was so pissed at his dad for the sweatshop thing.
Wow.
But the CIA didn't really care about any of that bullshit. Another name's going to come up real quick here that we mentioned last week as well. So Sidney earned his master's degree in speech therapy from San Jose State University after he retired from the CIA. Because of his clubfoot back during World War II era, he was rejected from the military service, but he did not prevent his pursuit of folk dancing, which was a lifelong passion of his. I'm not talking Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and all that shit. I'm talking like Renaissance fair shit. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Gottlieb was a real wiener.
God damn it! I fail again.
This wiener brought to you by graham crackers.
All right. So Sidney graduated from James Monroe High School in the Bronx in 1936 and enrolled in the Free City College in New York City. He later decided to transfer to a school that offered a good agricultural biology course because he wished to attend the University of Wisconsin. In order to take this course, though, he had first to attend the Arkansas Tech University, where he studied botany, organic chemistry, and other farm shit. I don't know. His success at Arkansas won him admission to the University of Wisconsin, where he was mentored by this guy named Ira Baldwin. Is he found familiar? I mentioned him last week. I believe he's the guy that helped decide that, man, if you can do it in a test tube, you can do it on a mass scale. So,
Well, wasn't so he was Sidney's. He ended up being Sidney's right-hand man, right?
no.
Oh, okay.
No. Now, Ira was still kind of involved in the chemical portion of what they were doing, but not so much by the point that Gottlieb got there. But I think he definitely helped him get the job because I think he came highly recommended from Baldwin. He was the assistant dean of the College of Agriculture at the University of Wisconsin. Let's see. Because of the accomplishments at the university, I think he graduated magna cum laude. Laude. How the fuck do you say that? I don't know.
Is that the first one, or that's like that's the runner up?
No, that's
the
like
high.
That's the high one.
The high.
Okay.
And with the recommendation from Baldwin, it won him.
Was it Magna and Summa?
No, Kuma.
Summa.
Magna cum
Cum
laude. Yeah.
Cum laude?
Yeah.
That's it.
Watch out.
Yeah, there we got it.
Okay. Anyway, got him into the California Institute of Technology, where he received his doctorate in biochemistry in June of 1943. And like I said, he tried to enlist, but they were like, "Hey, clubfoot boy, stuttering. You can't go overseas and shoot the Nazis."
Right.
So while he was in school, he met his wife, Margaret Moore, who was a daughter of a Presbyterian missionary. And
Yeah, boy.
they got married pretty quickly.
He ate a lot of graham crackers.
Yep.
No, he got married real quick.
He got, yeah.
No time to mess around.
He found the poontang. He's like, I like this. I like it a lot.
Just gonna
Oh, wait, he
dump out
probably
a
said,
bunch of
I
kids.
like this. I like it a lot.
I'm gonna.
You a lot better. You feel different than them sheep.
Are we going back to that?
Wee wee.
Oh, no.
Wait,
I don't know. In that
did you hear
time,
the
I think
ding?
it might have
I
been
think my
bacon.
pizza rolls are done.
No. There we go. Call back to everything.
There we go. Yeah.
Been breaking the devil.
All right.
Go.
Anyway, he sought out another way to serve because he was denied, the chance to join the military service. So he started looking for government work in Washington. And by 48, he was living with his wife and 2 daughters in a remote cabin near Vienna, Virginia, where they had no electricity, no running water. They were growing their own food in a garden, and they had goats that Sidney would get up and milk every day.
Mm-hmm.
He was living
Sounds
there
wonderful.
when he started to work for the CIA, and his lifestyle was fucking completely opposite to that of all the rich Ivy League fucking boys that he worked with in the CIA that they normally recruited.
Right.
He was basically, here's the fucked up part. Here's the irony in all this is Sidney
is the fucked up part. Okay.
Sidney was the hippie before the hippie movement that he accidentally created.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the fucking irony to all of this. His first position for the government was the Department of Agriculture, where he researched chemical structure of organic soils. Then he transferred to the Food and Drug Administration, where he developed tests to measure the presence of drugs in the human body. And he got pretty bored with that pretty quickly, and he wanted something a little more challenging. So in 48, he found a job at the National Research Council, where he described being, quote, exposed to some interesting work concerning ergot alkaloids as vasculoconstrictors and hallucinogens, end quote. After that, he relocated to the University of Maryland as a research associate, where he dedicated his work to studying metabolisms of fungi. Just trying to give you, Todd, you're a fun guy.
Trying to go for work the shrooms in there.
I gotta fucking tell you all this bullshit because I wanted to give you gotta have to know where this guy's coming from in his background.
Just keep fucking talking. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut and keep fucking from interrupting you. Keep going. I got cold chamber going in the ears. I mean, I'm doing everything I can to allow you to do this. We get it. Roll. God damn.
Today, Junior. Yeah. Anyway. On Friday, July 13th, 1951, Sidney had his first day at work for the CIA. The then deputy director for plans, Alan Dulles, hired him on Ira Baldwin's recommendation. And like I said, Baldwin had run the biowarfare program at Fort Detrick. Many years earlier, he helped establish it. He had helped Gottlieb in his orbit throughout the years. Sidney was a really fucking smart dude. He had advanced knowledge of poisons. And he came in basically right at the early years of the Cold War. That's when the whole American paranoia about communist bullshit was
blew up.
Super huge.
Is this right about the time where he poisoned that whole place in France too?
We're going to get to that next episode, but yeah. And that's, allegedly.
Allegedly, right.
There's some shit we don't have to say he allegedly did because he fucking,
100% did it.
Yeah. Sidney might as well have been a fucking Nazi.
And allegedly might as well be like.
It was never proven.
Most likely.
No, because all those people are dead.
Paris was never proven. Or France, I should say.
On purpose.
Yeah. So anyway, because of all the communist fever that was going on, it helped contribute to the CIA rapidly expanding their experimental methods and tactics over the next several decades.
Was that the Red Scare? Is that what they called it?
The Cold War is what they called it.
Yeah, I know, but then I thought the communist thing was the Red Scare. I knew the Cold War was what.
Yeah.
Dick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Todd.
Thanks, man. I needed that. Come on, help me out here, Spar. Yeah.
I know what you're doing, Dick. I get it. I got the joke. Funny as hell. Okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, basically all these people in
Bonnie,
Washington.
ha, not Bonnie Queer.
Right.
Some Madonna people.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, so the CIA, they fucking basically ramped themselves up into like yes-anding themselves into thinking that the USSR and the People's Republic of China had already masterminded brainwashing, and they were using it against their own people and prisoners. Okay.
I always thought it was more by force, but
I think it's just basically if you beat someone long enough, they're just like, fine, I'll say whatever the fuck you want me to say. And
yeah, that seems to work. Yeah,
it
seems
does,
to work.
yeah. So that's what drove the CIA's early forays into mind control and led them to justify all these fucking horrific experiments that they did with no oversight to anyone or anything. They had no fucking scientific knowledge, no nothing. And Dulles knew that they were just basically throwing shit at the wall at this point. That's why he wanted Sidney to get everything kind of back on course. So after proceeding through training, Sidney Gottlieb was named chief of the newly formed Chemical Division of the Technical Services Staff, the TSS, with the authority to expand research in any way he wanted to. Now,
I love how it's just open ended and
it's
get
just
after it. Just do it.
Get it done. Do whatever the fuck you want. Just get it done. Yeah. Now, the TSS, that's the division of the CIA that came up with all the fucking spy gadgets. Like, need a little micro camera, that's your guys. Need a phone, you need a go-go gadget, copter or shoes or whatever, that's your guy. Yeah.
Telephone shoes.
Yeah.
Meow, meow. Meow, meow.
Later on, Sidney would also help develop other shit for the TSS. And we'll get into that next episode. Oh, fuck. Anyway. Finally, here we go. On August 20th, 1951, Allen Dulles ordered that Bluebird be expanded and centralized and renamed Project Artichoke. You can laugh. It's okay.
No, it's fine. Okay.
Supposedly because it's his favorite vegetable. Or possibly after this fucking psychopath guy in New York City called the Artichoke King.
The artichoke.
Anyway.
I thought because when it goes bad, it's going to be fucking guacamole.
Don't talk about your guacamole dick right now, buddy. Anyway, around the same time, Dulles was promoted to deputy director of the Central Intelligence. And because he was promoted like this, it basically assured protection and encouragement for Gottlieb to conduct his mind control projects in any fucking way he wanted to. He basically, they gave him free rein to do everything.
They were going to shock the monkey.
It's like everything that they did, it was just like, however, we don't care. We don't care what it takes. Just do it.
Yeah.
Get it done. It's like everybody was just, go. We don't even care what it costs. Send us a bill.
Pretty much, buddy. They both believed, Dulles and Gottlieb, that there was a way to influence and control the human mind that could lead to global mastery. They also wanted to develop a truth serum, something that they'd been investigating since the days of the OSS, but had never been found.
I'd love to think that global mastery, wanting to have that'll go away sometime, but I feel it never will. I control this. I need that. And then I kind of want this. And then I want some more of that. Oh, man, did you see that place? That looked very pretty. It's way better than where I'm living. Let's have that, too. And then if I could just keep getting more shit, it would be great. So
that's the problem. We get greedy when we want more shit. So Gottlieb started out basically the same spot that the OSS had started out with. He started conducting experiments with THC, cocaine, heroin, mescaline. And he did all this before realizing that LSD had not ever been properly tested or investigated by the CIA. So he's like, fuck it. And after he tried LSD for the first time himself, he accelerated all these LSD experiments at the agency, testing it on agents who agreed to be dosed under controlled environments.
I think I know why.
Also, those who agreed to be dosed by surprise. Go ahead.
I think I know why you escalated it, because Lemmy said, "Yeah, you can't get high on LSD 2 days in a row unless you double the dosage."
Yeah. So nobody really knew about LSD. I mean, it was
because it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing. It had been developed by this company in Switzerland, same people that brought us saccharin, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And after months of experimenting on all these CIA agents and all these prisoners, Gottlieb was pretty unsatisfied. He sought help from the Special Ops Division at Fort Detrick, and with their agreement of helping them, the CIA acquired the knowledge and facilities of the Army to develop bioweapons suited for the CIA. This is all like within his first fucking 18 months, which led him to some really frustrating discoveries. Most of the drugs that he was experimenting were not true serums, like he wanted them to be.
And this is what we
kind of complicated or hurt his interrogations rather than helping them. A couple of these interrogations happened in North Korea in South Korea and in China, where I think the first time he said he needed like 15 expendables, and he tried to get them all to renounce communism.
Do we have that many expendables? Because like Stallone, Schwarzenegger,
those guys aren't fucking expendables. Yeah, those guys aren't fucking expendables, man. We need them for the sequels. Get to the job and do it now. No, these are people that were basically tortured to death. So after he experimented on all these people and fucking dosed them up with all sorts of various mixtures of cocktails of hallucinogens and what have you.
Can you imagine the blow-off steam parties they used to have?
They took them all out to the fucking bay.
We got a bad batch of the LSD back.
The boat.
Let's go to the strip club, fucking drop some drops and fucking see what happens.
I was thinking more of denounce communism as like, am I away? Are they going to kill me if I say this? No, you're good. You can say whatever you want. Yeah, I fucking hate it. Can we go? Great.
Yeah.
No drugs needed.
Yeah. I think the next time he tried it, he was trying to get people to tell him secrets, and that didn't work either. So once again, boom, like 13 guys just shot him in the fucking head, burned the bodies.
13.
I think it was 13. That's just off the top of my head. But I mean, this is all within the 18 months of him fucking starting this program.
Right.
So
and I'm guessing there's like miles and miles of paperwork of shit never released, of thousands and thousands of people dead over.
To understand most of what accidents. We have about all this shit from MK Ultra was all records that they forgot to fucking destroy. Yeah.
So the real
most of them are
ones,
financial. Most of them are financials.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah.
The only document that is complete that we know of, we will talk about next week, and that is a manual on how to basically give someone a spectator. I think that's what it's called in the document. How to perform a trick.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and the U.S. government paid $30,000 in the 40s to this magician named Mulholland, who was a prodigy of Harry Houdini, to come up with this basically manual for CIA operatives to put drugs into people's food, drinks, steal shit from them, pickpocket them. It was how to perform the tricks. That's how he
sleight of
worded it.
hands.
Yeah, exactly. All sleight of hand shit. We'll get to that next week, though. So in 52, Sidney's only been there maybe 18 months. 1952. They opened another black site in Fort Clayton in the Panama Canal Zone. The first person to be interrogated there was a prisoner that they called Kelly. His real name was Dmitry Dimitrov. He was a Bulgarian politician who had previously given... Smells like what?
Strong like
Strong like bull.
Strong like bull. If he dies, he dies.
Who cares?
So
Dolph
anyway,
Lundgren again.
I must
previously
break you.
previously given info to the CIA in 51, but his CIA handlers started to think he was going to change sides to the French intelligence. And so the handlers had him kidnapped, thrown into this Greek prison, and tortured for 6 fucking months. And from that point, he was transferred to Fort Clayton, where they attempted to use this artichoke approach, like the drugs, the hypnotizing, all this shit. And he was held there for 3 fucking years. Surprised that he didn't fucking end up dead.
Yeah.
They were using the same techniques they were using.
No, they had really great medical care, man. Really great medical care. Benefits were awesome.
His brain was jello.
So after these dipshits finally realized that no, he was not fucking trying to give information to the French intelligence, and they had made no fucking progress with him, and Sidney had his way with him too, they let him go. Years later, after he had tried to tell his story to Parade Magazine, they got a hold of the CIA and they're like, hey, well, so we got this guy here, and he says that you did this shit to him and you made him fuck sheep and stuff. And
ask me about my butthole.
It's not that bad. Anyway, the CIA told him that he was an imposter, disreputable, unreliable, full of wild stories. Basically like, no, that guy's full of shit. We know what you're talking about. And they're the CIA. So, of course, fucking, they're just like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're not going to print this. So, but indeed, yes, I can't believe. Can you imagine being fucking tortured?
It's not
for
butter.
3.5 fucking years.
No.
Every day.
Every day.
No more gravy.
No God.
Can you please see what's real for a minute? Because it's been 3 years. I won't know what's real for 4 months at least.
That's it. Yeah. So Gottlieb knew that Alan Dulles, now the director of the Central Intelligence Agency under President Eisenhower, would approve anything he wanted to do, and basically just give him a bigger head to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Free reign.
He hatched new ideas that, similar to Artichoke, that gave him authority over all CIA research into mind control, including the ability to test drugs on witting and unwitting Americans, which was not being done under Artichoke currently. Gottlieb and Richard Helms, then chief of operations for director of plans, wrote a memorandum to Dulles, which he approved on April 13th, 1953. Fuck, it only took 50 minutes to get here.
Wow.
So Dulles
we're at the
approves this
50-minute mark. I can start fucking with you.
on April 13th, 53. Dulles approves this project, which they formally call Project MK Ultra. At the time, his brother John Foster Dulles was Secretary of State, giving even further diplomatic cover to the project. On 3 days before he approved it, Dulles described this program to others in a speech at an alumni at Princeton University, referencing the new battlefield of brain warfare, as he called it. In the
Princeton,
battle for
Psychic
controlling-
warfare, not at first, huh?
Exactly.
They stayed away from
The
that at
battle for
first. Huh?
the battle for controlling the human mind. He disguised this program by describing it as something the Soviet Union was doing rather than something that we were fucking doing.
That's not caught on and keeps happening.
Yep. So, and because of that, he fucking freaked everybody out, and he got a shitload more money for research.
No. Fear tactics work?
Fucking,
You gotta be fucking kidding me with this, Zach.
making it
I don't
rain.
even know
Making
where
it
you're
fucking
going.
rain, dude. Fucking all that propaganda, fear of communism shit.
I'm less
So-
terrified about the murder stories me and Lindy do than I am about this.
This is fucking all real, dude. This is not.
I know.
I've mentioned this last time. This is not conspiracy theory. This is straight up
facts, yeah.
conspiracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gottlieb selected multiple researchers, scientists, funded projects under Dummy Foundation, and ex-OSS members to work for him under at least, I'm just going to say 150 separate MK Ultra sub-projects. Okay? Those contracted under some of these projects conducted experiments on his behalf and reported their findings to him for the next 20 fucking years until 1973. We have 20 years of MK Ultra, and we are not going to fucking talk about all of it. We are going to hit the fucking high points, which are actually low points.
All puns intended.
No shit. Yes, they are.
The Summer of Love didn't hit till 69. So, I mean,
69.
No.
69.
69 ended
Was
the Summer of Love.
69.
But yeah,
What do you mean it ended?
69 ended the Summer of Love.
It did. It did.
There's some-
it did. Great
Or the
GTO that year, though.
just-
I mean,
Decade of Love.
it's like the documentary you mentioned earlier, Lindy. Yes. That we will cover briefly next week, along
That
with
was fucking terrifying. Terrifying.
lots of
Hold on.
fucking sex.
I don't
dens and
think
shit
you
like that.
understand the brevity of her making that statement.
Should we all
I
take a moment?
we're also going to run into some problems as we get into the late 60s and early 70s because I'm going to want to bring up every car that I love from that year as it goes through. So I might just
That's
make
why
a
I'm
list.
doing the episode.
Well, Matt, that's why we're only going to talk about probably like 5 or 6 things next episode, and then we're going to fucking wrap this shit up like a fucking dick with STDs.
Okay.
Because, like I said, we could do a whole other podcast strictly on MK Ultra.
Do you know what a woman and a
years.
condom have in common?
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
They both spend more time in your wallet than on your dick.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
As far as
Anybody else?
like my experience, yes.
I can confirm and will not deny.
All right, Matt, real quick, can I get a yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I did it earlier and I was like, oh, nobody else heard it because I was shaking my head and I didn't see any smiles. I was like, man, they didn't even notice.
All right, just
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, it's just never going to be broken, I don't think. I'm not going to be able to stop doing it. Because I get excited about something like, yeah.
Yeah.
There it was.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that. Well, all right, it probably is that bad. It probably is.
all right. Well, guys, that's what we'll pick up next week when we cover some of these sub-projects of MK Ultra. Thank you for bearing with me for the last 2 hours of just getting up to MK Ultra. But it's important for you to know where it started and how shit just fucking fed on other shit. And it was all based on bullshit. Just fear-mongering, basically. Oh shit, they might have one bigger than ours. This is a big dicks,
That's what-
little dick syndrome, maybe? I don't know. It's like, oh fuck.
Oh, fuck.
I better get another 6-inch lift kit on that fucking truck, boy. Woo! Anyway, thanks for hanging out this week. As always, please continue to like, rate, and review the podcast. Please join us on the STS sessions every week on Facebook and YouTube at HMFPPOD. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And thank you, motherfuckers, for sitting through this and being like, holy fuck, are we done yet? I saw it in every one of your
Fuck
fucking
it. I'm done.
No, I was. I'll tell you after.
I pushed the button. Anyway. Guys, we'll see you next Tuesday. Until then, I'm Zach.
Spar.
Lindy.
Whoever the fuck you want me to be.
I'll be a Huckleberry.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. All right. Till then, guys. Later.
Later.
Bye.
Okay, I love you. Bye. Bye.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
I was with you.
They're coming to get you.
This is
Eh?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.